Dan Batar, what's going on?
Good morning. It's like deja vu all over.
I I like this. I like when you're in our courtroom all the time.
Well, I like being in your courtroom too.
Do you guys have choices, or are you just?
Uh, it's not really choices. I mean, we pick days based upon what fits our schedules, and then someone else makes a final decision as to whether we get those days.
Oh, okay.
So
But
it
it's
is kind of our choice, but not completely our choice.
well, it seems to work out that you're here with us a lot, so I like that.
I like it as well. Okay, I'll go in my waiting room.
Okay, cool. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Good morning, Josh. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Good.
How are you today?
I'm good. So far, so good. No complaints.
Thank you.
You have a couple, don't you?
I do. I want to just check in with you. I'm in covering Judge Oakley's house docket today. I'm not sure how we got ourselves crossed up. I have, it looks like at least what's showing when I did a court schedule search for my P number,
Yeah.
that I've got an 8 o'clock show cause for Shikari Hill.
Yep, I see that.
I've got an 8 o'clock show cause for Prentice Met.
Yep.
And then at 9:40 or 8:40, I got Jamie Hicks slid in there somehow. I'm not sure how that one wound up on here today. It's my fault.
Oh, okay.
That's an actual pretrial. I don't know what we're gonna be doing on that one, but yeah, I'm here. I'll probably just kind of hop in and out while we get things started on this end, if that's cool.
Heck yeah, you can do whatever you want. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Dan, I was just letting Mary Ann know I've got a couple show causes that were set for 8, a Shikari Hill and Apprentice Mets. I'm doing Oakley's house docket. If for some reason they pop in, I'll be back quickly or whatever. You guys let me know if it's something that was,
Or we'll just take care of them.
that's what the floor is yours, good sir.
All right. We'll take care
Thanks,
of it.
Dan.
You're welcome.
You got anything in Oakley today you need?
I do not.
All right, good stuff.
Mary Ann, I'm just waiting on a prosecutor in case you're wondering.
No, I know. I figured you know what you're doing most of the time.
Mr. Batar looks up to no good.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
You're right about
Do you
that.
have something ready?
No, Judge, I'm just waiting on the prosecutor.
But you are up to no good, is what you're telling me.
Absolutely.
Oh, my favorite kind of attorney. Thank you. Let me get the files. When I see the prosecutor, I'll come right out. Thank you.
Hey, Sammer.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Josh.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning.
Morning,
Hey,
Gabriel.
Josh, I see Miss Hill in the waiting room. If you want, I'll go talk to her.
Let me see. I think we're good out here. Dan, if you don't mind, we've got about 3 piled up already in the waiting line out here.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Give me 1 second. Let me just see. I think.
Mr. Clark, when the court is in session and your case is going to be called, you'll need to be have your cap off for me, please.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Oh, Jimmy, this they my daughter's name. And Detroit. Selena. And this was my pretty stupid thing.
Morning, Dave. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Today is Thursday, August 3rd, 2023. This is courtroom number 1. My name is Judge Martin. Today's docket is exclusively criminal cases. If your case is not a criminal matter, a civil infraction, driving related offense, you are in the wrong courtroom. You may send a chat to Mary Ann, my secretary, if you need assistance in getting where you are otherwise supposed to be. I know that the prosecutor is here. He's in the breakout room, but Mr. Bitar, do you have anything ready?
I do, Your Honor. Mark Warren is ready. He's not set until I think 9:10 though. He got here early.
But he's ready. If he's ready, I'm ready.
Good.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Warren. Your cases are 23RP03633 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Mark Anthony Warren. May I have your appearances, please?
Daniel
May you have
Bitar. Mr. Warren, hang on one second. Daniel Bitar on behalf of Mr. Warren, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Warren. Mr. Warren?
Yes. I'm not following you. What
I
am
just
I
need you to
answering
state your
to?
name for me.
Mark Warren, Mark Anthony Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Warren. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in these matters. Mr. Bitar, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, Mr. Warren is going to plead to no operator's license on person.
And the improper lane is being dismissed?
Correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Warren, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to discuss your case with Mr. Bitar this morning, and it's your understanding that you will be entering a plea of guilty to no operator's license on person.
Yes.
Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Warren, is it true that on July 9, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Bitar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Warren, the court accepts your plea of guilty to no operator's license on person and dismisses the driving while license suspended and the civil infraction of improper lane use that was issued at the same time. The court will impose a fine of $100, cost of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state cost, and $20 fund fee. That's $345, sir. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Warren, I don't see that the collections clerk is here just yet. So what you will need to do, sir, you can go online to the court's website. There's a contact us button. It drops down. You can submit a request for a payment plan. Or you can call the court and ask to speak to the collections department. And last but not least, you are welcome to come into the courthouse, meet with a collections clerk, and set a payment plan, okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
But do one of those things sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Warren?
No, ma'am.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you so much. You too.
Thank you. This is 23RP03279OM, City of Romulus versus Leonard Clark. Your appearances, please.
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, P 62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark, unmute yourself and say your name, please.
Leonard Clark.
Thank you. Mr. Jadala, today is the day and time set for the show cause arraignment and pretrial. How are we proceeding this morning, sir?
Your Honor, for purposes of today's arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. After speaking with the city attorney, he has no objections to proceeding to a final pretrial, mandating all complaining witnesses appearing at the time.
Thank you. In the interim, Mr. Clark, the court will set your bond at 1,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by this court until this matter is resolved in its entirety.
Okay.
Sir, you are to have because of the allegations contained in the citation, you are to have no contact with the residents at 9501 Michael.
I have no idea what address you even mentioned.
Whatever it is on the citation, sir. We're not going into the facts of it right now, but whatever it is
No.
that caused you to, whatever it is that caused you to have contact with the Romulus police back on June 19,
I
2023.
I'd never even seen
Mr.
the
Clark,
police.
Mr. Clark,
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not asking you to respond. I'm just saying that this court has a citation that indicates that you threatened to shoot up a residence at 9501 Michael. We're not talking about whether that's true or not. I'm telling you, do not have contact with the people who live there or that address. Not talking about the facts. I'm just saying because that is the allegation. No contact, sir. That's it. And then we'll set this for final pretrial on
September 7th at 8:50.
September 7th at 8:50. That's back on Zoom,
Okay.
back with me, with the complainant to appear. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Clark, a notice of that date will be mailed to you at the address that you verified with court staff this morning, okay?
Okay, you have a good day.
You too, sir.
Thank you. I can go now.
Yes, sir, you can go.
All right, thank you.
These are 23RP 03543 A, B, C, and D. These are City of Romulus versus Bernita Evans. May I have your appearances, please?
David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, appearing on behalf of Ms. Evans. Ms. Evans, please unmute yourself and say your name.
Bernita Evans.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in these matters. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. For purposes of pretrial, Ms. Evans will be pleading to one count of failing to report an accident, one count of no operator's license on person. The insurance and registration matters are being dismissed.
Thank you. Ms. Evans, raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala this morning. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, ma'am, it's your understanding and agreement that you will be entering pleas of guilty to failure to report an accident and no operator's license on person.
Yes.
Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your pleas this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And Ms. Evans, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Evans, is it true that on June the 25th, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you failed to report an accident?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, is it also true on that date and at that time you were operating a motor vehicle without an operator's license on your person?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Yes, I am, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Evans, the court accepts your pleas of guilty to failing to report an accident and no operator's license on person, which means the original charges of failure to stop or identify after a property damage accident and driving while license not valid are dismissed. The civil infractions of the registration or plate violation and no proof of insurance are also dismissed. Mr. Jadala, is there anything you'd like to say before fines and costs are imposed in this matter?
Your Honor, we just ask for minimum fines and costs due to Seven's financial situations.
Thank you. Ms. Evans, in the B file, which for our purposes is the no operator's license on person, the court will impose a fine of $100, cost of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 mandatory state cost and $20 fund fee. That's $345 in that file. For the failure to report the accident, it will be $100 fine, $100 cost, $75 crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee. That's another $345, ma'am. That's $690. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
It appears that the collections clerk has not logged on as of yet. Ms. Evans, what you will need to do is go onto the court's website. There is a contact us button. You click on that, it'll drop down and allow you to submit a request for a payment plan. Or you can call the court and ask to speak to the collection staff, or you are welcome to come in person to the court, meet with a court clerk and set up a payment plan, okay?
Okay.
Anything else in this matter, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
No, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Evans, that concludes this matter, ma'am. You're free to go. Have a good day.
You have a blessed day. Awesome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Judge, I'm covering Mr. Hill for Mr. Hadley, just so you know.
Thank you. This is 23RP01743 AOT. This is City of Romulus versus Shakari Hill. May I have your appearance, please?
David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Daniel Batar, on behalf of Mr. Hill, Your Honor, I'm standing in for Mr. Hadley.
Thank you. Mr. Hill, state your name for me, please, sir. Mr. Hill?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was muted. I'm sorry.
I know.
You hear me?
I can hear you now, sir. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Shakari Hill.
Thank you. Today is the date and time set for the show cause arraignment and pretrial in this matter. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I've had a chance to receive or review and receive the police report from Mr. Greco. I'm going to forward that to Mr. Hadley. We're asking for a pretrial at a later date so Mr. Hadley and Mr. Hill can work towards a resolution.
As for the arraignment?
We will waive a formal reading, stand mute, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Hill, were you able to hear Mr. Batar just now?
Yes.
Mr. Hill, your bond will be set at $3,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by this court until this matter is resolved.
Okay.
Mr. Batar has indicated that he's received a police report in this matter from Mr. Greco, will forward it to Mr. Hadley. We will schedule this matter for an adjourned pretrial on
September 7th at 8:50.
September 7th at 8:50 a.m. That's back here on Zoom in courtroom number 1. The other thing, Mr. Hill, on an unrelated matter, you have an outstanding balance of $230 due to the court for failing to stop at a stop sign. Please contact the court's collection department. You can do that online. You may do it in person. Or you can call the court and ask to speak to a member of the collection staff. Understood?
Yeah, I comprehend what you're saying, but that's what I'm saying. I don't even know what the
Mr. Hadley,
ticket
it's okay. Let me explain it to the judge. Judge, that stop sign ticket arises out of this misdemeanor. It was the same incident. So maybe Mr. Hadley will be able to work something out and try and take care of that for him at the next date. I don't know if that can be noted in the file, but that's where we stand with respect to that ticket. When he didn't show up for that last court date, it went into default.
And you've already had that conversation with Mr. Hill?
Yes.
Also, did you say September 7th at 8:50 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Court staff will mail you a notice to the address that you verified this morning, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. That concludes this matter. You're free to go, Mr. Hill.
Okay. Thank you.
This is 1247050D. This is City of Romulus versus Christine Humphreys. Your appearances, please.
David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Good morning, Your Honor. Connie Ribbiat from Memphis Clean Slate Program on behalf of Ms. Humphreys.
Christine Humphreys.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for hearing on Ms. Humphreys' application to set aside conviction. Please proceed.
Your Honor, this is our motion. First of all, I want to confirm the court should be in possession of an Attorney General letter dated January 4th, 2023, in which the Attorney General has stated that they feel she is statutorily eligible to have this matter set aside. Your Honor, we would like the court aware that all of her other convictions prior to this one have been successfully set aside. So this is the last one that we are addressing. She has, since these offenses, she's earned a certificate in emergency medical services and ERT. She is a monthly volunteer with the Jehovah's Witnesses, very active in the community. She is married. She has 6 children. She has adopted 3 grandchildren. She is asking the court to remove this from her record, firstly, because it's not representative of who she is today. It has impacted her employment. She currently works at the airport as a gate agent for Delta. She's been doing that for the last 5 years, and it's impeding her advancing in her employment, having this on her record.
Thank you. Ms. Humphreys, is there anything you'd like to add?
Just to kind of go along with the attorney, as she stated, it is impeding me trying to further my career with the airline. And this is not who I am any longer. As she stated, the same thing, adopting the grandchildren, have changed my life, basically.
Thank you. Mr. Greco, does the city take any position in this matter?
No, Your Honor, we have no objection actually to the relief requested. This is an old conviction, Your Honor.
Thank you. The court has had the opportunity to review this court's original file along with the letter from the Attorney General's office. And Ms. Ribbiat, thank you for your representation in this matter and your advocacy on behalf of Ms. Humphreys. The court will grant the application. There's already a proposed order in the file. The court will sign the same. And upon entry, copies will be forwarded to all necessary parties. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else on behalf of Ms. Humphreys?
No, Your Honor, other than I just want to be assured that we get a copy of this signed order also.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ms. Humphreys, good luck to you. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Bowditch.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine, Your Honor. I apologize for being a couple minutes late.
I appreciate that, but I don't know that your client is it Limbright?
No, Your Honor, I have Mr. Vanover, Isaac Vanover for a final pretrial.
They're both in the waiting room. Have you spoken to them this morning?
No, Your Honor.
If I may, Your Honor, just interrupt, because in reviewing the pretrials in this matter, I see Mr. Isaac Vanover was set for a final pretrial. I always make notes when cases are set for a final pretrial. However, this is one, I believe we were last in front of Judge Oakley, so I may have been in the courtroom. So I did not know it was set for a final pretrial until I noticed it on the docket 2 days ago as I was making final preparations. I made a few phone calls to the victim because I figured that mailing a notice and a letter would not do any good within the next 2 days. So I am requesting a final pretrial because I looked at my notes. I did see in the ROA was set for final pretrial, but I did not have it in my notes that day. It is just possible that Mr. Bowditch, like I said, you know, a lot's going on when we're in person, and a lot of times I'm not in the courtroom, and I did not know. And I would like to give the victim an opportunity to come if he wants to come. I'm unable to leave a message. I will be frank with the court.
Well, this
Your
case
Honor,
that
I have
Mr.
no
Greco,
objection.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bowditch, the case that Mr. Greco is referring to is 2302490 OM, City of Romulus versus Isaac Vanover. Mr. Vanover is in the waiting room. I don't know if we want to pull him out so he knows that exactly where we're standing right now. Mr. Bowditch, you were starting to say.
Your Honor, I would have no objections.
Thank you.
I probably should, though, Your Honor, have a brief discussion with Mr. Vanover. To let
I'm
him know
sorry?
what- I should have a brief discussion with Mr. Vanover, Your Honor, to let him know what we're doing here.
Mary Ann just pulled him out of the breakout because we started to have a conversation. I want him to be present for it. Mr. Vanover,
Yes.
turn your video on for me, please, and state your name for the record.
Isaac Vanover.
Thank you. Mr. Vanover, the attorneys have advised me that there was a small miscommunication. The prosecutor did not know that this was a final pretrial where the appearance of the witness, the complainant, had been requested. We will be adjourning this matter, but in the interim, Mr. Bowditch, it does not appear that Mr. Vanover was actually arraigned in this matter. So if you would, sir, for purposes of arraignment.
Yes, Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch appearing on behalf of with Mr. Vanover. Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we wait for a reading and stand mute. Ask the court to respectfully enter not guilty plea on his behalf.
Thank you. And Mr. Vanover, as a technicality, we will set the bond in this matter at $5,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until this matter is resolved in its entirety. Sir, there is a request from the Romulus Police that you have no contact with the complainant, in this case being John Gresham III. Do you have any reason to be in contact or communication with that person, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
And stay away from his place of business, his work.
Nope. Thank you, Mr. Greco. And Mr. Vanover, you said that you understood, but what I like to say to people explicitly is that no contact means no contact. No direct contact, no contact through third persons, no contact through social media. Between now and the time that we return, if this court receives report or information that you have made efforts to be in contact with Mr. Gresham or return to his place of business, the court could view it as a violation of the terms of your bond. Your bond could be revoked and you could spend the rest of these proceedings in custody. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
Thank you. Your final pretrial will be
September 7th at 8:50.
September 7th at 8:50 a.m. back here on Zoom in courtroom number 1 with me. Notation that the complainant is to appear. Is there anything else in this matter, Mr. Greco?
No.
Anything else, Mr. Bowditch?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Vanover, you're free to go. I'll see you on September 7th, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if I may, as we're going on to the next item, it looks like I met with a Martha Cowell, who waived MIDC counsel. She may be at the courtroom in front of the computer, wherever they have the individuals. I'm dismissing that case, and I told her to, that I keep trying to move her into the main room, but she's not coming over.
But let's try this a different way. There's court staff downstairs. So that we can get this person on the screen so that they know that they're done and they're free to go and they're not keeping somebody else from accessing that room.
Yeah.
So let's try that for a second. Mr. Jadala, were you ready with Cody Mahan?
Yes.
Would you go get him, but it looks like he's on his way out. Or what happened to him?
He was in the main session. I'm not sure what happened.
He was back in, thank you, Tim. I saw him in your room and now he's disappeared, like maybe disconnected, unfortunately. This is 23RP036330OM, City of Romulus versus Martha Cowell. Ma'am, state your name for me, please.
Martha A. Cowell.
Ma'am, the way the court staff have you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct?
Correct.
You intend to proceed on your own this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
You've met with Mr. Greco, the prosecutor?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Greco, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, we're moving to dismiss this case.
Ms. Cowell, do you have any objection to this case being dismissed?
No, ma'am.
The case is dismissed by the prosecutor, ma'am. That concludes the matter. You're free to go. You just stand up and exit to that door on your left, okay?
Okay. You have a blessed day.
Have a good day. Thank you. Mr. Mahan, sit up. The court's getting ready to call your case. These are 23RP03612 A, B, and C. These are City of Romulus versus Cody Mahan. May I have your appearances, please?
David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Cody Mahone.
Mahone, thank you. Mr. Jadala?
Correct, for Your Honor, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Mahone.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial and pre-hearings in these matters. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding?
For purposes of arraignment, we're going to waive formal reading and stand mute. Purposes of pretrial at this time, Mr. Mahone will be pleading to 1 count of no operator's license on person, 1 count of double parking, and the insurance matter is being dismissed.
Thank you. Mr. Mahone, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to discuss these cases with Mr. Jadala this morning. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, sir, it's your understanding and agreement that you will enter a plea of guilty to no operator's license on person and responsible to double parking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, thank you. And sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been promised anything or threatened in any way to get you to plead guilty and responsible.
No, just drop the insurance.
Mr. Mahone, is it true that on July 7, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Sir, is it also true on July 7, 2023, you were operating a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Yes, Judge.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of guilty to no operator's license on person and responsible to double parking. The original charge of driving while license suspended, limited access speeding 16 to 25 over, and no proof of insurance are dismissed. For the double parking, the court will assess a fine of $200. For the no operator's license, will be a $100 fine, $100 in costs, $75 crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee. That's $345. That's a total of $545. Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Sir, at the conclusion of this hearing, you'll see an invitation to go into the breakout room with Maria. She is our collections clerk. She will put you on the payment plan for these matters. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge.
Thank you, sir. Please follow the invitation to go into the breakout room with Maria. She'll set you on the payment plan. Have a good day, sir. This is 23RP021410M, City of Romulus versus Jamie Hicks. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Daniel Batar, on behalf of Ms. Hicks, Your Honor, I'm standing in for Josh Hadley.
Ms. Hicks, state your name for the record.
Jamie Hicks.
I'm sorry for speaking over you, ma'am. Today is the day and time set for your pretrial in this matter. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Greco sent discovery to Mr. Hadley. Dave, I don't know if that includes video or not. If it doesn't, could you also send him that? But we're going to need a pretrial at a later date. I think this case is going to end up going to trial. So he can pick a trial date that works for his schedule at the next hearing, Your Honor.
Thank you. That next pretrial date will be
September 7th at 9 o'clock.
September 7th, 2023 at 9 a.m. back here on Zoom in courtroom number 1.
Mary Ann and Judge, is it possible to schedule it as early as possible, earlier than 9? The reason I say that is I think Josh also has Judge Oakley in person that day.
The earliest is, I think 8:50.
Okay.
Is that better? 10 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's fine. I'll let Josh know. I'm sure he'll be able to figure it out.
Mr. Batar, what I would suggest is, although we have it at 8:50, if Mr. Hadley speaks to Ms. Hicks and they come earlier, we're usually logged on by 8:15. So if Mr. Greco's if they're able to talk, we'll take the case earlier than it's scheduled.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Ms. Hicks, you're free to go. You have a wonderful day. I'll see you in September.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. There's someone waiting for you, Mr. Greco. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going right now. Yeah.
Ms. Bellico, I don't think I see your attorney just yet. You're still a little early. But as soon as
Okay.
we see your attorney, we'll get you connected, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're so welcome.
Judge, I'll also be standing.
I'm sorry?
I'll also be standing up for Bowditch. And Mr. Limbright.
Thank you. Mr. Buda, do you need to speak to your client or the prosecutor this morning, sir?
I believe we are ready to proceed. I'm not sure if the prosecutor is on or not. I don't see him, but
He's on, he's in a breakout room. And when he
Okay.
comes out, there are 2 cases ahead of yours. Ms. Sabelco
Okay.
will be called third. Thank you.
okay. Thank you. Yeah, I believe we're ready. I did send him a letter last night, but if he wants to have a discussion regarding that quickly, I will. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. These are 23RP01858 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Henry Limbright. May I have your appearances, please?
David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Daniel Bater on behalf of Mr. Limbright, Your Honor, I'm standing in for Attorney Jeffrey Bowditch.
Mr. Limbright, please turn your video on and state your name for the record.
Okay, I'm trying to turn it on. Okay, here we go.
State your name for me, sir.
Yeah, Henry James Limbright.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the pretrial in this matter. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Mr. Limbright is going to take the offer. And Dave, just to clarify, the offer says plead guilty to inoperable vehicle, but I believe that's a civil infraction. Isn't that correct?
That's correct. It should be responsible.
Okay, so he'll plead responsible to the inoperable vehicle. The uncovered premises will be dismissed. The other part of that plea deal is if property is not cleaned up or maintained, more tickets may be issued. Mr. Limbright indicates he's already taken steps and that property is cleaned up and he'll do his best to maintain it.
Excellent.
So we're dismissing A and responsible to B.
Correct.
Thank you. Mr. Limbright, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do
Okay,
you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes, I do.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. You had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Batar this morning. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, I do.
And after having that conversation, sir, it's your understanding and agreement that the on-camp premises case would be dismissed and that you be pleading responsible to the inoperable vehicle.
Again, that's correct.
Thank you, sir. You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, I understand that.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yeah, I understand that.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes, I am.
Sir, is it true that on April 13th, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you had an inoperable vehicle on your property?
Yes, I did.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Limbright, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the inoperable vehicle and dismisses the unkempt premises. The court will impose a fine of $180 for the inoperable vehicle. Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes, I do. Right now, my only source of income is Social Security.
Understood and appreciated, Mr. Limbright. You will see an invitation now to go into a breakout room with Maria. She is a member of this court's collection staff. She'll put you on a payment plan, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. These are 23RP 03613 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Antoine Clark.
Your Honor.
Mr. Clark, turn your video on and state your name for the record.
It's Antoine Clark.
Antoine Clark, thank you, sir. Today is the day and time set for your arraignment pretrial. The way the court staff has you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct?
Yes.
You intend to proceed on your own?
Yes.
You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Greco, the prosecutor, this morning?
Yes, I did.
Mr. Greco, how are we proceeding in these matters?
We are amending the unregistered vehicle to a double parking ticket, Your Honor. And we are amending the no insurance charge to no proof of insurance. And Mr. Clark wishes to plead or avail himself of the offer and plead responsible to both.
Thank you. Mr. Clark, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Sir, you have the opportunity to speak to Mr. Greco. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, sir, is your understanding and agreement that you'll be pleading responsible to double parking and responsible to no proof of insurance?
Yes.
You understand that if the court accepts your pleas this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, I do.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes.
And sir, you're entering these pleas freely and voluntarily?
Yes, I am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you plead responsible?
No.
You're pleading responsible because you are in fact responsible?
Yes.
Mr. Clark, is it true that on July the 7th, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Sir, is it also true at that date and time you had no proof of insurance on your person?
That is correct.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Clark, the court will accept your pleas of responsible to double parking and dismiss the unregistered vehicle and responsible to the amended count of no proof of insurance on person. No proof of insurance in possession. And the court will impose a fine of $200 for the double parking and $200 for the no proof of insurance for a total of $400. Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay this amount?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Clark, what you will see next is an invitation to go into the breakout room to meet with Maria from this court's collection staff. She will be able to put you on a payment plan for this $400. Is there anything else in this matter, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Clark?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Please go speak to Maria. Other than that, have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. This is 2303020D. This is City of Romulus versus Isabella Sabelico. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city. Ms. Sabelico has Jeffrey Lance Abood as an attorney, and we need to talk, and I moved him into my room.
Oh, when I glanced down, thank
Yeah.
you. I'll see you when you come back out.
Yeah, but we can put Ms. Connie Maruk on the record before I go.
Maruk. These are 23RP03515 A and B, City of Romulus versus Maruk. Ma'am, turn your video on, state your name for the record.
Connie Maroc.
Maroc, thank you. Ma'am, the way the court staff have you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorneys this morning.
That is correct.
You wish to proceed on your own in these matters? That's a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You've had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor, Mr. Greco, this morning.
Yes.
Mr. Greco, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we're dismissing the misdemeanor charge of failing to stop after a property damage accident. And then with regard to the civil infraction, we're amending that to an impeding traffic to resolve this case.
Thank you. Ma'am, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Ma'am, you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
And after having an opportunity to speak with the prosecutor, it's your intention this morning to accept the offer to plead responsible to the added count of impeding traffic with the dismissal of the driving without due care and caution and dismissal of the misdemeanor failure to stop or identify after a property damage accident.
Yes.
And ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your pleas this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Correct.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or stand cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Correct.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible?
No.
Ma'am, is it true that on June 29, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you impeded traffic contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Maruk, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of impeding traffic and will dismiss the other civil infraction of driving without due care and caution and the misdemeanor of failing to stop after a property damage accident. The court will impose fines of $180. Ma'am, do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
No, I'll pay that today.
5 days to pay. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. That concludes this matter, ma'am. You're free to go. Good luck to you. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Thank you. Mr. I just saw. Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
These are 191017. Nope, hold on. 23RP036290T, City of Romulus versus James Anderson. Your appearance, please.
Yes.
Inspector, Your Honor, Sam Jadala, please 62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson, please say your name.
James Anderson.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we're going to waive formal reading and stand mute, Your Honor. Purposes of pretrial. At this time, Mr. Anderson will be pleading to one count of no operator's license on person.
Thank you. Mr. Anderson, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. You had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala this morning. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, sir, is your understanding and agreement that you will be tendering a plea of guilty to the added count of no operator's license on person?
Yes.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor? And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
You're pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Sir, is it true that on July 9, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you were operating a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Anderson, the court will accept your plea of guilty to the added count of no operator's license on person and will dismiss the original charge of driving while license suspended. The court will impose a fine of $100, cost of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee. There is a total of $345, sir. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes.
Before you leave, sir, you will see an invitation to go into the court's collections meeting room. You'll meet with Maria from the court staff. She will put you on a payment plan. Mr. Anderson, you have another matter with this court. It is 191017 OT. It's Wayne County Airport versus James Anderson. This is a driving while license suspended from March 3rd, 2019. This case is currently in warrant status. Sir, the court will recall the warrant. Have you stand mute to the charges.
Yes.
Set your bond in this matter at 1,000 personal. You don't need to post any money, but the court will provide you with a date to return. Mary Ann, when you get a moment, we need an airport date, please.
Okay. August 17th at 9:30 with Judge Oakley.
Thank you. Mr. Anderson, for this 2019 driving while license suspended, you will have a pretrial date of August the 17th at 9:30 a.m. That is in person here in courtroom number 2 with Judge Brian Oakley. Notice of that hearing date will be mailed to you. And again, before you leave today, you'll see an invitation to go into the collections room with Maria. Please go there to set a payment plan for that no operator's license, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. You have a good day, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Was my case a plea today on Mr. Anderson? Okay.
It was.
Okay, thanks.
Absolutely.
This is 230302OD, City of Romulus versus Bellico. May I have your appearances, please?
David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Good morning, Judge Jeffrey Aboud on behalf of Isabella Sabelica, who is present on Zoom video this morning.
State your name for me, please, ma'am.
Isabella Genevieve Sabelico.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the pretrial. How are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, we have a plea agreement.
The terms?
The plea is that we are going to reduce the charge to operating while visibly impaired, of which Ms. Sabelico is going to plead guilty.
That is correct,
Ma'am,
Judge.
I'm sorry.
I was just stating that that is correct if the court accepts it, yes.
Thank you. Raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to speak with your attorney. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties?
Yes, Your Honor.
And ma'am, after having that conversation, it's your understanding and agreement that you will be tendering a plea of guilty to the reduced count of operating while visibly impaired?
Yes, Your Honor.
And ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And ma'am, have you been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, is it true that on January 7th, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you operated a motor vehicle while you were visibly impaired?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Abboud, would you like to inquire further of your client?
Judge, I believe you got enough unless you'd like me to.
Your client, your decision, sir.
Ms. Sabelico, is everything that you answered for the judge accurate and true?
Yes.
Okay, and you do understand that you had a right to go to trial and you're giving that up?
Yes.
Okay, and it is your choice to enter into this plea agreement?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me right now?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ma'am, the court will accept your plea of guilty to operating while visibly impaired. That's reduced from the operating with a high BAC. Because this is a drinking and driving offense, the next step in these proceedings is that you will be referred to the court's probation department. They will interview you. They will develop a sentence recommendation and schedule you to come back to this court for sentence. Understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
They will be contacting you by email and phone, so please respond to them so we can get you back here. Anything else this morning in this matter, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Abboud?
No, Judge, so will we be receiving the sentencing date by mail at a later date?
I think they do it by email and mail.
Okay, cool.
I just
Thank you.
don't have
I didn't
them
know if we-
because it'll depend on, no, I don't have them because it depends on how soon they'll be able to get her interviewed and get the report developed. Thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
Thanks for your time this
Have a
morning,
good
Judge.
day.
Appreciate it. You too. Bye.
These are, Mr. Nunley, did you need to speak to your client or are we ready?
I just need to speak to Mr. Greco whenever he has an opportunity.
I think he's ready to go because I haven't seen, well, hold on. Did I see somebody standing in for, Mr. Greco and Mr. Nunley, you go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
checking
Mr.
out some other things.
Attorney Clayton is here for Maurice Davis and Angela Platt, but he and I have not spoken yet, so I moved him to my room.
I see that. If you take Mr. Nunley with you when you come out on those two, and then Mr. Duncan, did you need Mr. Greco or what are you here for?
Yes, if I could talk to Mr. Greco, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Royce, let's meet in room 10 because my room's full.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Anderson, you should have seen an invitation to go in and speak with Maria.
No,
If
I
you
haven't
have
seen
not,
anything. No, it hasn't popped up yet.
oh,
Hello.
you should see it now. Mr. Jadala, were we ready with Ms. Crowe?
You're ready when the court is, Judge.
I'm ready when you are. Mr. Greco just went into a breakout room with some other attorneys, but I will call 23 RP 03689 A, B, and C. These are City of Romulus versus Carolyn Crow.
Respect for Your Honor,
Crow.
Cameron P6286, appearing on behalf of Ms. Crowe. Ms. Crowe, please say your name.
Carolyn Crow.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment, pre-trial, and pre-hearings in these matters. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we're going to waive formal reading and stand mute. Purposes of pretrial, Ms. Crowe will be pleading to 1 count of no operator's license on person, 1 count of double parking. The insurance matter is being dismissed.
Ma'am, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala this morning, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, it's your intention this morning to plead guilty to no operator's license on person and responsible to double parking.
Yes.
And ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your pleas this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty and responsible?
No.
Ma'am, is it true that on July 11, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it also true that on July 11, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ma'am, the court will accept your plea of responsible to double parking in the B file, which had been the speeding civil infraction, and will assess a fine of $200 in that matter. The C file, no proof of insurance has been dismissed. The A file, which had been a driving while license now valid, is a no operator's license on person, and the court will impose a fine of $100, cost of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee. That's $345 for a total of $545 in these matters, ma'am. Do you need more than 5 days to pay these amounts?
Yes.
Ma'am, the matter is concluded as far as this courtroom is concerned. What you will see is an invitation to go into the breakout room. You will meet with Maria, who is a member of this court's collection staff. She'll put you on a payment plan for that $545, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Jadala? Nope, okay. Ma'am, just please follow the instructions to go into the breakout room. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
You're welcome. Thank you. These are 23RP02386 A, B, C, and D. These are City of Romulus versus Carlos Hernandez. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes,
David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Hernandez, Your Honor, I'm standing in for Royce Nunley.
Mr. Nunley looks surprised, as is the court.
Oh, he's here. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were here, Mr. Nunley. My apologies.
Well, hey, man, looks like he upgraded to you.
I don't know about that. But okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, I haven't spoken to him yet. Dan, if you've spoken to him, if there's a resolution, then jump in. If not, I'll talk to him.
There is no resolution, Royce. We're just going to set it over for another date and I'll send you a text with the details, okay?
That sounds good.
All right.
Okay. You all are messing up our record keeping here. So is it Mr. Batar or is it Mr. Nunley?
I'm going to stand in for Mr. Nunley today, Judge, since I already
Thank
talked
you.
And Your Honor, there is no resolution of the case today. Mr. Greco, if you want to speak to what needs to be done.
Yes, Your Honor, we're adjourning this to the special ordinance docket of 9/28/23. I have not spoken with Mr. Batar today, but my request is that Mr. Hernandez or Mr. Batar or Mr. Nunley contact me to set up a day when the city staff can go to the property so we can all be clear about, or at least Mr. Hernandez can be clear about what the city is expecting. I don't know if that meeting was discussed with the client.
It was discussed with the client. I've made him aware. I've informed Mr. Nunley about that, and I'm sure Mr. Nunley or Mr. Hernandez will reach out to you, Dave, to set up that appointment.
All right, perfect.
So these matters, 4 matters will be adjourned to the court's ordinance docket for Romulus on September 28th, 2023 at
9:10.
At 9:10 a.m. Mr. Hernandez, those hearings are in person, which means physically come here to the 34th District Court, courtroom number 1. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Judge,
Anything else?
excuse me, I'm sorry. Can you make that 9:40, please?
Mary Ann's just making up numbers today.
sorry.
That's fine. 9:40 a.m. courtroom number 1 on September 28th. Mr. Hernandez, notice will be mailed to you at the address that you verified with court staff today, sir. You're free to go. You have a wonderful day.
All right. Do I talk to anybody else after this, or is this it?
Who do you want to talk to, sir?
Just somebody so I can know who I'm calling or who I'm contacting.
Well, you're labeled as Mr. Nunley. So Mr. Nunley, if you want to go into a breakout room, explain to Mr. Hernandez what just happened and this indication by Mr. Greco that there will be a meeting with ordinance at the property to maybe a punch list or a list of expectations for property maintenance.
Right, no problem at all. Would it be possible to do Shakira Holden before I jump into the breakout room with him so she can get on out?
Absolutely.
All right.
These are 23RP03184 ABC, 23RP03241 A, B, and C. These are all City of Romulus versus Holden. May I have your appearances, please?
David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Royce Nunley appearing on behalf of the defendant. Ms. Holden, could you state your name for the record?
Shakira Holden.
Thank you. Today is a day and time set for hearing in these matters. Mr. Nunley, how are we proceeding?
Mr. Greco and myself were able to work out a resolution whereby Ms. Holden will be pleading responsible on the 03184 file, the A and the C charge, in exchange for dismissal of all of the other charges, including the other case. Those charges being impeding traffic and no proof of insurance, civil infractions.
Responsible to 84A and C and dismissal of everything else.
Correct.
Thank you. Ms. Holden, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Ma'am, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Nunley. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, ma'am, it's your understanding and agreement that you'll be entering pleas of responsible this morning to the civil infraction of the registration or plate violation and impeding traffic.
Yes.
And ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your pleas this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible?
No.
Is it true, Ms. Holden, that on June the 15th, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you impeded traffic contrary to law?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it also true on June 15, 2023, again in the city of Romulus, you had a registration or plate violation, that being an expired plate?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco? Nope. Satisfied, Mr. Nunley?
Yes, I'm satisfied.
Thank you. Ms. Holden, the court will accept your pleas of responsible to the registration, to the plate violation, impose fines of $150 and responsible to the impeding traffic and impose the fine of $180. The misdemeanor 84B of driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied is dismissed. The misdemeanor 241A, failing to stop or identify after property damage accident, is dismissed. 241B, the misdemeanor of driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied is dismissed. And 241C, the civil infraction, no proof of insurance, is dismissed. The total due in these matters, ma'am, is $330. Do you need more than 5 days to pay those amounts?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, what you will see next is an invitation to go into the breakout room. You will meet with a member of the court's collection staff. She'll put you on a payment plan for the 2 civil infractions.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
Nothing further, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Holden, were you about to say something, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Wait for the invitation to go into the breakout room to meet with the collection staff. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. This is 230520 OD, City of Romulus versus Angela Platt. May I have your appearances, please?
David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus. Clayton, you're on.
Attorney Clayton. We'll pass this matter. Mr. Duncan,
Yes, Judge.
Sorry, Your Honor.
two RP036940M, Lorena, City of Romulus versus Lorena Rendon.
Yes, Your Honor.
David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Murray Duncan appearing on behalf of the defendant.
State your name for me, please, ma'am.
Lorena Rendon.
Thank you, Ms. Rendon. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. Mr. Duncan, how are we proceeding this morning?
Judge, purposes of arraignment, my client will waive the reading and stand mute. I talked to the prosecutor and the prosecutor is moving to dismiss this matter and we do not object.
Thank you. This case is, Mr. Greco, were you starting to say something?
Yeah, I was just saying that's correct.
Thank you. This matter is hereby dismissed. Ms. Rendon, that concludes this matter. You have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. This is a recall of 230520 OD, City of Romulus versus Angela Platt.
David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
And good morning, Your Honor. Spencer Clayton appearing on behalf of Ms. Platt, P number 77302. Ms. Platt, can you
State your
unmute
name for me,
yourself?
please.
Angela Platt.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. Mr. Clayton, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we waive the formal reading of the complaint, stand mute for purposes of arraignment. Your Honor, in terms of the pretrial, I did have a chance to speak with the prosecutor on the matter. We're asking for an adjournment to a pretrial for discovery purposes.
Thank you, sir. There is a bond recommendation from Romulus Police Department indicating that they do not oppose personal bond. The court will set your bond, Ms. Platt, at 5,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by this court until this matter is resolved in its entirety. The condition of your bond is that you not purchase, possess, consume alcoholic beverages during the pendency of this matter. That is based on the allegation that your blood alcohol at the time of your interaction with the police was in excess of BAC of 0.17. Mr. Clayton, the court has noted that you're requesting discovery in this matter. We will adjourn the pretrial to
September 7th at 9 o'clock.
September 7th at 9 a.m. That's back here on Zoom, back in number 1 with me. Is there anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Clayton?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Platt. You have a good day. You're free to go. Notice will be mailed to you at the address we have on file.
Thank you.
Thank you. Maria,
Yes.
you're in the main session. That usually means you have a question or you're just checking on us?
No, I'm just checking.
Just hanging out?
Yes.
The more the merrier. Thank you. These are 23 RP 03648 A, B, and C. These are City of Romulus versus Carnell Williams. May I have your appearances, please?
David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Richardala, P62186, MIDC Arraignment Council, appearing on behalf of Ms. Williams. Ms. Williams, please say your name.
Williams.
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we're going to waive formal reading and stand mute. For purposes of the pretrial, Ms. Williams will be pleading to 1 count of impeding traffic, 1 count of double parking, and the insurance matter is being dismissed.
Thank you. Ms. Williams, would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You may put your hand down. Ma'am, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala this morning, and it's your understanding and agreement that you will be entering a plea of responsible to double parking and responsible to impeding traffic.
Yes.
And ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your pleas this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And ma'am, you're entering these pleas freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty. And I'm sorry, you haven't been promised anything to get you to plead responsible in these matters.
No.
You're pleading responsible because you are responsible.
Correct.
Ma'am, is it true that on July the 10th, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it also true on July 10th, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you were impeding traffic?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
I'm not sure what plea this is on. I just came back.
Carnell Williams.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yes.
Bottom of page
Actually,
5.
I was here for the beginning of it. I'm satisfied.
Thank you. Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ma'am, the court accepts your pleas of responsible to impeding traffic and responsible to double parking, and will impose a fine of $180 on the 48A file, which is impeding traffic, and will dismiss the expired license misdemeanor and enter a plea of responsible to the double parking in the 48B file, and will impose a fine of $200. That's a total of $380. Ma'am, do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes.
Ma'am, what you will see is an invitation to go into the breakout room. You will meet with a member of the collection staff. She will put you on a payment plan for that $380.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am. That concludes this matter. Please follow that invitation to go into the collections room. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Josh, are we good with your case?
Mr. McAuliffe should be logging in. I'm gonna need more time for screening purposes. I can go, I can put it on the record when we do, but I'll just need more time on that. For
Okay,
the,
so we're good. So we're gonna adjourn it?
yeah, I'm gonna ask for a little bit of time.
Okay.
These are 20 RP 06829B and 21 RP 00947C, 21 RP 01684A. These are all City of Romulus versus Lyndon Carter. May I have your appearances, please?
David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Carter, Your Honor.
Mr. Carter, state your name for me, sir. You're muted.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Lyndon Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrials in these matters. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we have a resolution on the case that ends in 684A. Mr. Carter will plead guilty to DWLS. On the case that ends in 947C, he will plead to no operator's license on person. The case that ends at 829B will be dismissed.
Thank you. Mr. Carter, would you raise your right hand for me, please, sir?
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you swear, thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Mr. Carter, you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Bitar this morning, and it's your understanding and agreement that you will be entering pleas of guilty to driving while license suspended and no operator's license on person.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you understand that if the court accepts your pleas in these matters this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering these pleas freely and voluntarily.
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promising anything. I'm sorry, you haven't been threatened in any way, promising anything to get you to plead guilty.
No, ma'am.
You're pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Carter, is it true that on March the 9th, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes, ma'am. That is true.
Sir, is it also true that on May 17th, 2021, again in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied?
Yes, ma'am. That is true.
Thank you. Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Bitar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Carter, the court accepts your pleas of guilty to driving while license suspended from the May 2021 case and operating with no operator's license from the March 2021 cases. The third matter of a license infraction is dismissed. Mr. Carter, before the court imposes fines and costs in this matter, have you straightened out your license issue?
No, I'm not driving at the moment. I'm Ubering. Those situations came from me. My work situation, I was trying to still make it to work. I apologize about that, but I would like to make a payment on everything. So,
Mr. Carter, what the court will do in these matters in the 8-4A driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied, the court will impose a fine of $300. There's cost of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 in warrant fees, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee. That's $595. And then the March 2021 no operator's license on person, there's $100 fine, $100 cost, $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $100 in warrant fees for previous failures to appear. There's $50 mandatory state costs and $20 fund fee. That's $445. In that file, as indicated, the third file is dismissed. You currently have Mr. Carter on some other unrelated matters, a total of $1,359 due to the court. So what will happen next is that you will see an invitation to go into a breakout room with Maria. She will set a single payment plan that will pay on these older citations as well as the pleas from this morning, okay?
okay. Thank you so much.
No worries. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Bitar?
Oh, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Carter, please go into the room with Maria. You have a good day and good luck to you, sir.
You too. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Judge, on the matter with Carnell Williams, it looks like it was his wife that was driving. I'm setting up the payment plan for her, but is it going to be under her name? Is it going to be changed?
I'll look at it.
Maria,
I don't want to attach the wrong social security number to it.
the citation is as to Carnell Williams. There was no request to modify this ticket in any way, shape, or form. I did
Okay.
not, I didn't catch that that was not who that. Mr. Jadala,
That's news to me, Judge. I introduced myself to a Carnell Williams. I wasn't corrected.
She
there was
said
no
she had
request that-
mentioned that to you.
I know, that's,
Okay.
that. If she did, I'm not calling her a liar. If she did, that's not what I recall. I don't recall that occurring.
Did you want me to replace her into your waiting room to speak with her?
You could do that, absolutely.
Okay.
then I will put these files back on the side, Mr. Jadala, because this court is then inclined to set aside these pleas and we'll reschedule the matters for the proper person to appear. This is 210168OD. This is City of Romulus versus Dylan McAuliffe. Your appearances, please.
Your Honor, Dave Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
And Your Honor, Joshua Kaplan on behalf of Mr. McAuliffe. Your Honor, we had a brief adjournment on this so that he may get screened for sobriety court. The update is that he was rejected based on his geographic location. However, he is moving to Romulus in the next 2 weeks. And so he hasn't changed his address yet. He's also having his baby. He also has a baby that was due yesterday. And so he's going to be dealing with that coming up very shortly because she hasn't had her baby yet, his wife. We're asking for another adjournment so that he can have the baby, move here in the next 2 weeks and get his address changed and get rescreened. I have messaged Shannon about that, but we are asking for a longer adjournment period just so that he can accomplish those things. He is highly motivated to get in sobriety court in this court. He's gainfully employed. He has a new baby on the way. He is sober. So we're just asking for either, a 30 or 45-day adjournment so that we may accomplish those things and get this squared away.
Mr. Kaplan, I was looking at that September 21st date. Would that be sufficient amount of time or are you looking for a longer adjournment?
September 21st, I believe September 21st would be appropriate. Yeah, that should be enough time.
At 9 o'clock, Judge.
Thank you. September 21st, 9 a.m., back on Zoom, back here in number 1. And Mr. Kaplan, you say you've already been in contact with Shannon, so would he be rescreened for this court?
This is news to me. I've emailed her, so I'm in contact with her in the sense that I've emailed her about this. So I'm going to ask for her to be rescreened for this. I'm also going to shoot her a call later today about this. Now that he will, once he is a Romulus resident, we can hopefully get this to go faster.
Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor, we thank the court and the people for their patience.
Thank you. Mr. McAuliffe, you're free to go. Good luck with the baby and the move.
Thank you very, very much, Your Honor.
This is 22RP03492OT, City of Romulus versus George Flamini. May I have your appearances, please?
David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Your Honor, respectfully, Samer Jadala, P62186, MIDC Arraignment Counsel, appearing on behalf of Mr. Flamini from the Oakland County Jail. Would you please say your name, Mr. Flamini?
George Flamini.
Thank you. Today is a day and time set for the pretrial conference in this matter. I note that this court file is marked as being in warrant status. The warrant is hereby recalled. Mr. Jadala for purposes of arraignment and pretrial.
Your Honor, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. And at this time, Mr. Flamini would like to avail himself to the plea of 1 count of no operator's license on person, Your Honor.
Mr. Flamini, would you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely, I do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala this morning, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And after having that conversation, sir, it's your intention this morning to plead guilty to the added count of no operator's license on person with the dismissal of the driving while license suspended. Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, I have not.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, I am.
Sir, is it true that on September the 6th, 2022, in the city of Romulus, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes, I did.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
I am satisfied, Your Honor. And if I can allocute briefly, Your Honor, for purposes of sentencing.
Absolutely.
Mr. Flamini's been incarcerated just shy of 100 days, Your Honor. He's going to remain incarcerated at least until August 25th when he'll be sentenced. We just respectfully request if this court would consider time served.
Any objection, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Flamini, the court will give you credit for 30 days served and consider this matter closed thereafter. Mr. Jadala, the court had noted that Mr. Flamini has other holds from other jurisdictions and appreciates the need to just get this matter resolved. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Flamini, thank you, sir. Good day and good luck to you.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Jadala, on this Williams matter, where are we? Oh, he left. Okay. This is 2302510M, City of Romulus versus Tori Cofield.
David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Cofield, Your Honor.
Ma'am, state your name for me, please.
Tori Cofield.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this show cause arraignment and pretrial. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, as to the arraignment, we'll waive a formal reading, stand mute. We are asking for a final pretrial where the complainant must appear. And Dave, I would just ask you to send me a copy of the police report when you get a chance.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Cofield, the court has received a request from Romulus Police Department asking that your bond be set at 10,000, 10%. A condition of your bond be that you have no contact with the complainant in this case, Santara Mendoza. Mr. Batar, your comment as to bond.
Your Honor, I think that bond is excessive. This is a misdemeanor, even though it is an assaultive crime. I don't believe she has any prior criminal history. She appeared voluntarily today in court. She's employed full-time. We're asking the court for a personal bond.
Thank you. Court will set, excuse me, court will set the bond at 5,000 personal. Make a note that there is already a bond posted to have the warrant lifted. That may be applied should there be fines and costs assessed in this matter at some point down the road, Ms. Cofield. And the matter will be, the pretrial will be adjourned to
September 7th at 9:10.
September 7th at 9:10 a.m. That's back here on Zoom, back in number 1 with a condition of your bond, with the condition of your bond, Ms. Cofield, that you have no contact with the complainant in this matter, Santara Mendoza. And ma'am, no contact means no contact, no direct contact, no contact through third parties, no contact through social media. Should this court receive reports that you've made efforts to be in contact or communication with Ms. Mendoza, it could be viewed as a violation of the terms of your bond. Your bond could be revoked, and you could spend the rest of these proceedings in custody. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you. Did I hear a request previously for the complainant to be present for this next pretrial? Okay.
You did,
Final
Your Honor.
pretrial, I'm okay with that.
Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll see you on September 7th. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. I don't see anything else ready. I will step off for just 1 second. I'll be back in a second, Mr. Greco. There's 23 RP 030410M, City of Romulus versus Rebecca Barnett, was scheduled for show cause arraignment pretrial at 8 a.m. It's now 10:09 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for a second time in this matter, bench warrant shall issue 5,010%. Two three RP 030720M, City of Romulus versus Sharni Bell, was scheduled for show cause arraignment pretrial at 8 a.m. It's now 10:10 a.m. by the court's clock. This is the defendant's second failure to appear in this matter. Bench warrant shall issue 5,010%. Mr. Jadala?
Yes, Judge, I asked her to press leave breakout room. Did she leave the entire session?
Did who?
Mrs. Williams.
She's still in your meeting room.
Okay, let me try to pull her out.
Thank you. These are 23 RP 03073 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Sean Bradshaw. We're scheduled for show cause arraignment pretrial at 8 a.m. It's now 10:11 a.m. by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for a second time in this matter, bench warrant shall issue 5,010%. Yes, Mr. Jadala.
And I've spoken with Mr. Greco, and we believe the best way to handle this matter is to I guess set aside the plea that was taken today, since it was taken by the wife, get a new court date so Mr. Parnell Williams can appear and not Miss Ashley Williams. And we'll take it from there, I guess, Your Honor. I believe that's the best way to proceed.
We will reset this matter for
September 7th at 9:10, Judge.
Thank you. September 7th at 9:10 a.m. back here on Zoom in courtroom number 1. Thank you, Mr. Jadala. Ma'am, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Okay,
Judge.
yeah.
This is 23RP026960M, City of Romulus versus Eric Cottle.
Good morning, Your Honor. Crystal Marie Medina. I just needed to speak to Mr. Cotto in a breakout room, Your Honor. I have spoken with Mr. Greco, but I just need to follow up with Mr. Cotto. That's why I logged on
Thank you.
from the device, and now I'm co-host. Thank you.
Mr. Cottle was just moved into the clerk's waiting room, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. These are 16R574330B and C 17R583759A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Oni Hampton. The matters were scheduled this morning for show cause and pretrial. It was scheduled at 8 a.m. It is now 10:16 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Matters will be reset for show cause. Well, bench warrant shall issue. My apologies in 59B. Two 30360OM. This is City of Romulus versus Catherine Latola. This matter was scheduled for show cause arraignment pretrial at 8 a.m. It's now 10:18 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for a second time in this matter, bench warrant shall issue. 5,010%. This is 23RP032460M. This is City of Romulus versus Sarah McCall. The matter was scheduled for show cause arraignment pretrial at 8 a.m. It's now 10:19 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for a second time in this matter, bench warrant shall issue. 5,010%. This is 21RP03059. Okay, City of Romulus versus Prentice Metz. This matter was scheduled for show cause arraignment pretrial at 8 a.m. It's now 10:20 20 by this court's clock, defendant having failed to appear for a second time in this matter. And I'm sorry, 23 RP 02604 A and B. These are again all Prentice Metz matters. 5-9 file was scheduled for the 604A file was scheduled for show cause this morning. Defendant has failed to appear. Bench warrant shall issue 5,010%. This is 230361OD, City of Romulus versus Kelly Torres. The matter was scheduled at 8 a.m. for show cause arraignment pretrial. It's now 10:22 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for a second time in this matter. Bench warrant shall issue 5,010%. This is 23RP 03624OM, City of Romulus versus Daniel Bowe. This matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 8:50. It's now 10:23 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the matter will be set for show cause. These are 23RP 03617 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Najee Green. The matters were scheduled at 8:50 a.m. It's now 10:24 a.m. by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. The B file, which is civil infraction, will be deemed in default, and the A file will be set for show cause. This is 23 RP 018450M, City of Romulus versus Dennis Wright. Matter was scheduled for pretrial at 8:50. It is now 10:25 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the matter will be set for show cause. These are 23 RP 03572 A and B, City of Romulus versus Albert Hughley Jr. The matters were scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9 a.m. It's now 10:26 a.m. by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for the matter, case will be set for show cause. These are 23 RP 036-80T. City of Romulus versus Destiny Locke. Matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:10 a.m. It is now 10:27 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the matter will be set for show cause. Mr. Batare, I didn't see you pop back in. What do you need, sir?
Hey, Judge, I don't see anything else left on the docket. Just wanted to ask if it was okay for me to go.
Absolutely. It looks like our last thing was scheduled at 10 o'clock. Thank you, sir.
Mary Ann, one other thing, if you're there.
I'm here.
You sent me an email last week about Bertolotti.
Yeah?
It's actually Josh Hadley's case. So
Oh, okay.
they're going to let him know that it's been reset for the 10th.
Got it. Okay. Thanks, Deanna.
Everyone take care.
You too.
You too, Mr. Batare.
Thank you.
These are 23 RP 03631 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Stephen Johnson. The matters were scheduled for 9:10 a.m. It's now 10:28 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the A file, which is a civil infraction, will be deemed in default. The B file misdemeanor will be set for show cause. This is 23 RP 03695 City of Romulus versus Mackenzie Dameron. The matter was scheduled at 9:30 a.m. It's now 10:29 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the matter will be set for show cause. These are 20 RP 02632OM, City of Romulus versus Shantanique Gorey. Matter was scheduled at 9:40. It's now 10:30 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. This matter will be set for show cause. 220110OM, again, City of Romulus versus Shantanique Gorey. Matter was set at 9:40 a.m. It's now 10:30 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Matter will be set for show cause. Two 201120M, City of Romulus versus Shantanique Gorey, scheduled at 9:40. Defendant failed to appear again. Matter will be set for show cause. Two 204600M, Romulus versus Gorey. Matter will be set for show cause. Two 230253OM, Romulus versus Gorey. Matter will be set for show cause. Two 3RP 03544OM, Romulus versus Gorey. Matter set for show cause. Two 20 RP 05443 A and B, City of Romulus versus Jalen White. The matters. Matters were scheduled at 9:40. It is now 10:34 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Matter will be set for show cause. Two 3 RP 03761 A, B, and C, City of Romulus versus Robert Barnett. The matters were scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:50. It's now 10:35 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the matters will be set for show cause. 23RP 038030M, City of Romulus versus Adrian Bartimore. Matter was scheduled at 9:50 a.m. It's now 10:37 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, matter will be set for show cause. Two, 3RP 03807 A and B, City of Romulus versus Michelle Cuthbertson. Matters were scheduled for 9:50 a.m. It's now 10:38 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear in these matters, they will be set for show cause. Two zero RP 05611 AOT, City of Romulus versus Denise Butler. The matter was scheduled at 10 a.m. for arraignment pretrial. It is now 10:39 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Case is already in warrant status. The court will leave it as such.
Hey, Marianne, it looks like Crystal is meeting with her final two. Just like a final talk with them before she comes on the record. And I think we're just setting these for our final pre-trials before trial. So.
Good morning, Wayne County. How are you?
Good morning, and you? Good, and you?
I'm good, thank you. Who do we have here?
My name is Shantini Warren.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Shantini Warren.
Oh, sorry, got it. Okay, thank you. Ma'am, do you wish to speak with an in-house attorney? Ma'am?
Yes.
Do you wish to speak to an in-house attorney this morning?
Yes.
Miss Medina, are you there?
Take more pictures. Yes, I am.
Hi. I don't see our in-house. I think that they have left. Is there any chance that you can speak with this defendant, or do you want me to call Sam or Dee?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think it was Daniel, and I'm fine to cover for Daniel. I can speak to them. What is it set for today?
It's set for arraignment pretrial. And there are several charges. There's 6 different files. So, maybe it might be better to call Dan or Sam. What do you think? Or I can fax you the docket.
Well, do they have any additional information that I don't have?
I don't know. Do you want me to put you in a breakout room?
Yeah, put me in a breakout room.
Okay.
What is the individual's name?
Sure. It's the first name is SHANTINIQUE. The last name is GOREE.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
And Crystal, on my plea offers, there's a detailed plea with respect to Ms. Gory's cases.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna see Mr. Greco first. Can I see Mr. Greco so I get a better idea? I think you can give me a lot more information quickly, and then I'll meet with her.
I'm sorry, Miss Medina, I'm coming.
It's quite all right. I'm gonna speak to Mr. Greco.
Wait, hang on, Crystal. If the judge is coming, we'll get rid of Cottle and Fife.
Judge, I thought they were saying they were gonna move me. I'm like, oh no, I can move myself. Oh yes, Judge, I am. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, Miss Medina, I stepped away.
No, it took me a while to get these resolved, Judge.
I appreciate your efforts and follow up with that. This is 23RP0269OM, City of Romulus versus Eric Cottle. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
And Crystal Marie Medina here, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Cottle. Mr. Cottle, would you please unmute and say your full name for the record?
Eric Cottle.
Thank you. Today is a day and time scheduled for the pretrial in this matter. How are we proceeding, Ms. Medina?
Your Honor, at this time, I think we are scheduling, if the court would be so kind to schedule another final pretrial. My understanding is that Mr. Greco and I will be discussing this matter in between now and then in hopes of a resolution, Your Honor.
Thank you. That adjourned final, I'm sorry, Mr. Greco.
And Your Honor, even though it's a final pretrial, Ms. Medina and I had agreed that the victim does not need to show up again. I actually had them show up today, and they were here, Ashley Capital.
And that is absolutely correct, Your Honor.
That adjourned date will be?
September 7th at 9:10.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry, Maria, you said 9:10?
Correct.
And
thank you.
Your Honor, mine broke out my audio on the date. Was it September 7th, you said?
It is September 7th at 9:10 a.m. back here on Zoom, back here in number 1. I'll see you then, Mr. Cottle. They will mail a notice to you at the address you verified for court staff, okay?
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
This is 23 RP 026310 City of Romulus versus Daniel Fife. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
And Crystal Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Fife. Mr. Fife, would you please say your full name for the record?
Daniel Raymond Fife Jr.
Thank you. Today was the day and time scheduled for the final pretrial in this matter. Ms. Medina, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, very similarly in this case, we would like to set it for a final pretrial. The complainant is present here today via Zoom. We do not need her to appear again in the future, Your Honor. This is more of a Mr. Greco and myself, a situation between now and then, Your Honor.
Thank you. Marianne, is there still?
Yeah, September 7th at 9:20.
September 7th at 9:20, back on Zoom, back here in number 1. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Medina?
No, Your Honor, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Fife, you have a good day, sir. I'll see you in September.
You as well, thank you.
Thank you.
And then, Mr. Greco, I'll meet you in your room.
Yes, I'm gonna just, I'll be there in 1 minute. You go to my meeting room.
I will go to your meeting room is a lot better.
Judge, there is one more that they're speaking about. It's Gory.
I just sent those files downstairs with Mackenzie. Give me one.
I'll call her, or I'll run down.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll go.
There, she just took the stack, and Gory's 4 or 5 files are still rubber band together.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Thanks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Crystal, Ms. Medina just texted me that there's somebody else that was logged on.
Yes, Shantanique Gori has a history of disorderly cases, and I already sent them downstairs, but she logged on from the county jail. They were scheduled at 9:40.
Okay, I will talk to her.
Thank you. Sam just logged back on. If you could go, Marianne, if you could just reset him as the co-host so he can move around.
Hey, Maria, if you're there, I can't find, hi, I cannot find Mackenzie.
Okay, I'll look for it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Crystal, for the heads up.
Okay, no problem. I didn't mind doing it.
Hey, would you have Mackenzie pull the gory files
Thank
out,
you.
their rubber band together and run them back upstairs or send them back up with somebody, please? Thank you. Bye.
Hey,
Marlisa, send Mackenzie back up.
Sam, you want to meet in my meeting room real quick, or?
Yes, I'll see you there.
Okay.
Tim's bringing them up right now.
Thank you, Maria. Thanks, Tim. No, oh, yep, to Mary Ann, thanks.
All right, Sammer is speaking with the client. I'm just going to step away for a brief moment. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. Mr. Jadala, thank you so much for jumping back on. These are 220460OM, 230253OM, 23RP03544OM, 220112OM, 20RP02632OM, 220110OM. These are all City of Romulus versus Chantanique Gorey. May I have your appearances, please?
David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Your Honor, respectfully, Samuel Jadala, P62186, MIDC arraignment counsel appearing on behalf of Ms. Glory, who joins us from the Wayne County Jail, Division 1, Your Honor. Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we waive formal reading and stand mute. And for purposes of pretrial, Your Honor, we have reached out a plea, Your Honor. I'll put it on the record, but Ms. Glory, please say your name for the record.
Ma'am? State your name, please.
My name is Shantanique Gorey.
Thank you. That plea agreement, Mr. Jadala.
Your Honor, Mrs. Gorey will be pleading to harassment, case number 220110. Assault and battery, case 220112. Threats, case 220460. Trespass, case 23 RP 03544. And disorderly person, case number 230253. The remaining charges are being dismissed pursuant to the plea, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Jadala, so in 460, the plea to threats and dismissal of the use of a commercial communication. What is it? Okay, and then 253, guilty to stalking, dismissal of the disorderly. Plea of guilty to trespass in 544.
No, Your Honor, the stalking is being dismissed. Disorderly, she's pleading to the disorderly.
Correct.
Thank you. And then 112, guilty to the assault and battery, dismissal of the malicious destruction and disorderly person.
Correct.
Dismissal of 632, which is disorderly person,
Correct.
and guilty to the harassment in 110.
Correct.
Thank you. Ms. Gorey, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, ma'am, but you need to speak up.
Yes.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Ma'am, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, Your Honor.
And ma'am, after having had the opportunity to speak with him, it is your understanding and agreement this morning that you will be tendering pleas of guilty to making threats, being a disorderly person, trespass, assault and battery, and harassment.
Yes, sir.
And ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your pleas in these matters this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And ma'am, you're entering these pleas freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Ma'am, are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty? Ma'am, is it true that on May the 20th, 2022, in the city of Romulus, you made threats, threatening, abusive, or obscene language contrary to law. Is that true, ma'am? And these threats were directed at one Shawanda Martin.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it also true that on April the 3rd, 2023, again in the city of Romulus, that you were a disorderly person?
Yeah.
Thank you. And Mr. Jadala, just so we're clear, the 460 and the 253 were showing that Ms. Gorey had not been arraigned for purposes of arraignment if she stands mute to the charges. Thank you. Just as a matter of record keeping, and I'll fix that when I make more thorough notes. And then in 23 RP 035540M, ma'am, is it true that on June 30th, 2023, again in the city of Romulus, you trespassed on property located on Sequoia in the city of Romulus?
Yes, ma'am.
You knew that you were not welcome at that property? Ms. Gorey?
Yeah,
I said you knew that you were not welcome at that property.
I did.
And then on January 27th, 2022, again in the city of Romulus, you committed an assault and battery upon Shawanda Martin.
Yes, ma'am.
And then on March the 24th, 2020, in the city of Romulus, no, that's 642 that's being dismissed.
Yes, Your Honor. She's pleading to
Two-
5 and 5 are being dismissed.
I'm with you. Thank you, Mr. Jadala. And then, ma'am, on January 30th, 2022, in the city of Romulus, you engaged in harassment again against Shawanda Martin.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Jadala, would you like to inquire any further of Ms. Gorey?
Your Honor, I'm satisfied with the factual basis made for the pleas.
Thank you. Mr. Greco, are you satisfied as well?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Ms. Gorey, the court will accept your pleas as previously indicated and would like to schedule this matter for sentencing. The court would like Ms. Martin to have the opportunity to submit a statement or appear in person should she, or appear on Zoom should she wish to. And for that reason, the court will schedule your sentence date for August the 21st. I need to find a time for that, with those matters. Ms. Gorey, are you in custody because of these matters, or are there some other outstanding matters?
Your Honor, I believe these matters since July 24th.
We'll set the matter for sentencing on Zoom on August the 21st, 2023. At 9:30 a.m. Ms. Martin, Ms. Gorey, upon your release from custody, do you have someplace to go? Do you have a permanent address, a fixed address?
I have one on my ID, a physical address, and I have a PO box as well. Other than that,
So upon your release from custody, if the court were to grant that this morning, ma'am, what address would you return to?
I'm not giving it out.
I'm sorry?
I'm not giving it out.
You're not going to give it out? No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you here for sentencing then. I'll see you on Zoom for sentencing. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor. The court will be sending a notice to the victim. I will contact her as
Yes.
well. Okay, thank you.
I'll send the files downstairs and ask that probation send a letter to Ms. Martin. She can decide if she wants to submit a written statement or if she wants to log on the 21st at 9:30 a.m. Anything else, Mr. Janala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. That concludes this matter and that concludes this court's docket.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Have a good
Maria.
rest of the day, everyone. Thank you.